not the alumni report. Your alumni and also you can become member. Both passport student and faculty program faculty also. All the best. If there are activities, you will already mark now. A lot of activities of organizations can be linked to that. Because we are online.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Students will be at the
So they're waiting for 5 minutes to
Good morning and hearty welcome to our distinguished guests of the day, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Sachidanand sir, Guest of Honor, Shri Shivanand Sakshi sir, Dean and Director, Dr. Girish Reddy, President of GDCRI Alumni Association, M.V. Ramchandra Prasad, Honorary Secretary, Dr. Surya Padwal, and Honorary Treasurer, Dr. S.K. Srinath, my dear colleagues and dear friends who are watching this live. On behalf of everyone, myself, Dr. Namita Shanbhag, Associate Professor, Public Health Dentistry, Government Dental College and Research Institute, Bangalore, take this opportunity to congratulate all the students to join in this program, Prologue 2020. To join an university that traces its origins back to 1996. It is the third medical university in the country with close to 757 institutions affiliated to it. Presently, 28 dental colleges offer PG programs out of 37 dental colleges in the state of Karnataka, with a sanctioned intake of close to 700 students every year, MDS students every year. Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, with its vision statement and motto being Right for Rightful Health Sciences Education, has become a trendsetter in health education through its pioneering efforts and innovative programs. GDC is a premier institute established in 1958. It has played a crucial role in the growth in the field of dental sciences and research and oral healthcare delivery in this part of the country. GDC Alumni Association, with its huge database of members, is an inheritor of great ideals of the alma mater, keeping dissemination of knowledge as its prime objective. Hats off to the will and commitment of all coordinators of alumni of GDC Association in meticulously planning and executing this event in association with Rajiv Gandhi University. Prologue 2020 is the 12th in the series, hosted every year by the university in association with Government Dental College and Government Dental College Alumni Association since 2009. Begin this program by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. We have our invocation prayer.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
take this opportunity to call upon Professor Dr. Ramchandra Prasad sir, President of Government Dental College Alumni Association, Bangalore, to welcome the gathering.
A very good morning. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Dr. B. Satchidanand, and chief guest for today's conference. Dr. Rajiv Gandhi University, honor for today's conference. Anish, Senior Director, Government Dental College, Bangalore. Dr. Surya Padwar, Government Secretary, GDCRI, Alumni Association. Treasurer of the Alumni, Dr. Srinath, respected speakers, moderators, senior alumni, Dr. Rina of IGCR, platform on which this year's Prologue 2020 will be conducted, all delegates for Prologue 2020. A very warm welcome to you all to this inauguration of Prologue. This is the 12th edition of Prologue, orientation for first MDS of all faculties of dentistry affiliated to Rajiv Gandhi University. It was started in the year 2009 when Dr. Raman Shetty was the president of the GDCRI Alumni Association and also the vice chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University. So many other organizations have started orientation for MDS throughout the country. Our program has received a lot of appreciation. And we conduct Prologue, a preface of introduction to first MDS course. I'm immensely honored to extend a very warm welcome to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. B. Satchidanand, to the inauguration. Warm welcome. Dr. Girish, Dean and Director, GDCRI, has been active in conducting, coordinating with all the agencies for conduct of Prologue. A very warm welcome, Dr. Girish. Honorable Secretary of GDC Alumni Association, the man behind the conduct of Prologue. Warm welcome, Dr. Surya Padwar. Dr. Srinath, the Treasurer of GDC Alumni, who manages all the finances. A very warm welcome. A hearty welcome to my dear classmate, Dr. Rina and her team of IGCR, the platform for conducting Prologue online this year. A very warm welcome, Dr. Rina and her team. I, as the president of the GDC Alumni, also extend a hearty welcome to all speakers, moderators, alumni, and most importantly, to all the delegates of Prologue. A very warm welcome, one and all.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Professor Girish Reddy to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Registrar, my dear alumni members, our alumni association president, MD Ramchandra Prasad. Honorable Secretary, Dr. Surya Padwar, President, Dr. Srinath, my colleague, Dr. Manjunath Purani, Dr. Lalita. Very good morning to everyone. At the outset, I would like to congratulate all the students who have taken admission to this year to this MDS course under our QHS. also welcome all the students to this orientation program. All of you have done well to choose this specialty, whichever you desire, and you have come through entrances, various entrances, state or central, and they have chosen courses under Rajiv Gandhi University, an esteemed health university in the country and across the world. And each one of you, my dear students, have enough and special capabilities to do well in your chosen field. You can go through this course of 3 years, which has been designed by the apex bodies and the RGHS, which will be very helpful to shape your future. In this regard, an orientation to MDS is very useful. When we were studying, we didn't have such programs. We just directly joined, and most of the things what we learned were what was taught to us by our teachers in the departments and so on. But nowadays, because of our alumni association, Rajiv Gandhi University Health Sciences, and all the active members from the university as well as from our association, shape the program which can help you all to orient yourself to this MDS program. I hope you will all enjoy this program, which will help you shape the future, learn how to learn. That is what this program is all about. I hope you will enjoy and welcome you once again.
Thank you, Professor Girish, Dean and Director, Government Dental College. Prologue introduces students not only to the opportunities and responsibilities of academic life, but also to the wealth of the university resources, and help these new students in making a successful academic, intellectual, and social transition into the university community. Every year, the Prologue Committee decides on publishing the Prologue book series, which contains the lecture notes from all the speakers as a ready reckoner for the students. As we have our guest of honor who's occupied and is unable to make it to this occasion, I ask our deemed Honorable Vice Chancellor to release the book Prologue. Open matter.
So ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸರ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ನೀವು
Thank you very much, sir. The story of this varsity is the story of the remarkable and genius people who have exemplified in different ways with determination their ability and commitment to excellence. One such personality is our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Sachidanand sir. It's my privilege to introduce sir here. Dr. S. Sachidanand sir holds the degree of medicine with specialization in dermatology and FRCP from Glasgow. He was the professor and former head of the Department of Dermatology, Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute, and also the former Registrar Evaluation in the University of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. He has put in close to 30 years of service with vast experience in teaching, research, and administrative services. One of Sir's mission is to inspire every faculty member in Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences to rise up to his potential by creating excellent opportunities to acquire, accumulate, and then dissipate knowledge to all the beneficiaries, and also to produce young healthcare professionals in all faculties who are socially, morally, and ethically responsible and also trained to deal with fellow human beings with all dignity and compassion. He has an aim to foster basic research and development in medical field. I deem it my privilege to invite our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, to share his views.
Uh, Today's function Prologue is a very unique orientation program being organized by the alumni of Government Medical College, Bangalore. I take my privilege to welcome President Dr. M.V. Ranjan Prasad, Secretary Dr. Srinath, I'm sorry, Dr. Surya Podwal, Chancellor Dr. Srinath, Dean and Director of Government Medical College, Dr. GDCRI, Madhurat Purani, and all the office bearers, other office bearers of this alumni network of GDCRI. First of all, I congratulate the organization for conducting this prologue year after year for the last so many years. It's been a very much sought after program to every new entrant into the postgraduate degree courses in the dental sciences. Starting a new program is a very easy job, but sustaining it and continuing to do it year after year, it requires a lot of effort, a lot of coordination, and that is what GDCRI Alumni Association has been doing. The office bearers have to be really complimented for that. Every year it used to be a physical meet where students used to come and have a glimpses of RGHS campus also. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we do not know, COVID has changed the whole scenario. And this year, for the first time, this program is being held online. I'm sure all the students who have logged in, the coziness of their homes, would definitely enjoy and also learn a lot from this orientation program. Prologue means something which introduces a topic to a main topic. Something which is like a preamble, something which is a discourse, initial discourse, which sets the tone for other activities to come later on addressed. So Prologue has been very aptly named, very aptly called a program which has been consistently being organized for all the new entrants. Let me also take this opportunity as Vice Chancellor of this great university to welcome all the students who have joined MDS course and selected various colleges in this course. So hearty welcome to you all. It also becomes mandatory and important for university to orient its students towards its activities. Needless to say, Prologue is a very significant program which I think every new entrant would always look forward to, wherein he will be given a glimpses of how to carry on research, how to write a research paper, how to publish a research paper, and how to carry on with this. As a university, we don't expect some path-breaking or groundbreaking research activities from students, but of course, it is to orient them and see that they inculcate this habit of research in their day-to-day practice as well. Research does not end with just finishing the post-graduation. Research does not end or become very part of life when you become a faculty. Research continues to be a part of your life until you practice, until you are actively practicing in your field of expertise. So research is very important. Much has been emphasized on research activities, and to give a fillip to that activity, RGHS has been always in the forefront. One of the major universities in the country where we have set aside a lot of funds for research activities. For the first time in the country, undergraduate research activity has been emphasized. This year, around 310 projects have been approved by undergraduate students. We will be funding undergraduate research. We are also funding faculty research to a great extent, not only basic research, research in basic sciences, collaborative research, team-based research, and many other such activities are being carried out. Year after year, when the research project completes, we bring out a compendium. This compendium very recently, 15 year compendium was released by our Honorable Prime Minister Netherlands Sri Narendra Modi ji on the Foundation Day, 25th Foundation Day of this university. I'm also happy to say that this particular year is of great significance because Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences has just begun its 25th year journey, which is a very remarkable year, a milestone in the life of any university for that matter. So this prologue becomes a very significant prologue, which is being conducted in the year of Silver Jubilee year 2020. What is research? Research is something researching. If you just spread the word, there is always something existing. We need to search, research it, and then make some meaning out of it. That is what is research. We all know that as human beings, as individuals, we all have problems. Our families have problems. Our society has problems. Our community has problems, and the nation also has problems. So we are all faced with problems. Research is finding out solutions to these problems. The problems may be in the health sciences, the problems may be in the day-to-day activities, it could be in your life, leading life in your own way, anywhere. If you try to find some solution in a systematic way and a scientific way, that becomes research. That is what we need to emphasize and orient our students who have passed out BDS and then joined MDS now. You are expected to take up a research project which is of relevance, which is current, which is more informative, and probably brings out a solution. Don't be perturbed by saying that what research you're doing is very silly, very hypothetical. It may not end up with some good results. Do not bother about that. It is the process of running through the research project is what is important, and that is what many of us say: publish or perish. That statement is a very old statement. We should not do research for the sake of publication. We should not publish because it is compulsory or mandatory. No, they are just byproducts. But what you students you need to know is you need to undergo this process of research, understand the process of research, understand how research is formulated, how it is framed, how do you go through the steps of research, and then the result is, of course, a byproduct. This is what I would like all of you to understand. Please understand why research has to be done, and how do we select a problem, how do we approach this problem, what are the solutions that you can offer, what is the solution which already exists in the literature, analyze the literature and try to bring out something new. A fresh breath of air is always welcome whenever you are doing research. So however small the results may be, however negative the results may be, because even negative results are also valued. That in mind, kindly take up this research. Please understand, you are at a very doorstep of this research methodology workshop. Please understand the nuances of how to conduct a research, right from how to select a question is a problem, and how this problem can be analyzed, and how do you go through the process of getting some meaningful information out of what research you carry out. So this is what is all about research methodology. You are very lucky in the fact that Alumni network of GDCRI has come forward to do this program year after year, and the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences has always been partnering and encouraging such research activities. We have also now published more than 1,000 articles in index journals. Many of our research conducted by our faculty members have gone into patent. Some of them are even now being thought of as commercial ventures. So that is the advantage. Of course, the fruits of research will not be seen in the near future. It always takes a long time for the fruits to be seen. But nevertheless, whatever little contribution that each one of you can do, never hesitate to do that. And I would also request the Alumni Association that at this point of time, of course, we will support you to come out with a compendium of all the activities and the publications that the students do, postgraduate students do. That itself can become a compendium. which would be paving the way for newer research in the future. So you could think of that. Probably you can start compiling of all the research activities or the dissertation which has already been published by previous postgraduate students. You can think of that. That could be a good project for you. And Rajiv Gandhi University of Health would definitely support that. With these few words, I would take this opportunity to congratulate all of you once again. I wish you all a very bright future, a bright career. Be rest assured that a student of RGHS always has a value, always has a brand, always has a quality stamped on his certificates, which we will realize once we go out into the world. So I hope all of you will have a very smooth postgraduate course and also try to learn as much as possible from your learned faculty members who are always willing to take up issues with students. And many other such student-friendly activities are also being planned in the form of health insurance for all students who join RGHS. We are also looking at providing scholarships for meritorious students. All these are in the pipeline as a remembrance of this 25th year celebrations. So be a part of that. I would also welcome students who are interested in essay competitions, in quiz competitions, and other such literary activities, academic activities, which will be a part and parcel of the 25th year celebration. To be an active participant member of these activities. I wish you all good luck. I hope this program would grow in its stature, would grow in its content, would also be beneficial year after year to all the students who will join in the future. Thank you so much and good luck for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for the words of advice on basic research and development, which has been your mission to create an atmosphere to foster this basic research and development in the medical field in the university. And being the 25th year Silver Jubilee celebrations of the university, we wish you the best, and we see that we make sure that we as teachers and faculty and the students are there to support your vision. I request Honorable Secretary Dr. Surya Podwal sir to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Namita. Vice Chancellor, Dr. Chairman, Registrar, Chairman, Chairman Dr. Pashi, President Dr. Anil Prasad, Director and Dean of Government College, Dr. GDCRI, my Treasurer Dr. Srinath, Dr. Manjunath, Mr. Vasant Shetty, Deputy Registrar, all the people in this room and all those people who are remotely connected from Karnataka and outside of Karnataka. My attitude today is that of one of gratitude, the magnitude of which is of infinitude and plenitude. After days and months and hours of hard work, today I am standing before you, ladies and gentlemen, to propose a vote of thanks. Thank all those people who have helped me put this program together. At the outset, it gives me immense pleasure to thank our today's chief guest, our revered personality, Vice Chancellor Dr. S. Satyananda. Sir has helped us put this program for last many years and also set the ball rolling. Thank you. And also has set the ball rolling in terms of signing an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, so that the Government Dental College Alumni Association and the university are partners of this MOU, so that in the future these programs will go unhindered and will be a great success in its stature and in its content. Thank you, sir, for being with us. My heartfelt thanks goes to our beloved Registrar, Sri Shivananda Kapasi. Sir has put all his team into work and galvanize them and help us, to put this program in good perspective. My heartfelt thanks goes to our President, Dr. Ramchandra Prasad, for his constant guidance. I want to express my gratitude to Dr. GDCRI, who so whole and soul took in charge of this Prologue 2020 and put every brick and mortar of this program. Let me also express my sincere thanks to all the office bearers, the previous presidents, previous secretaries, treasurers, and presently all the EC members. Few names I would like to take at this juncture. That is Dr. S.S. Hiramat, Dr. Inu Ramesh, Dr. Fayasuddin, and many others who come. I will fail in my duty if I don't thank Dr. Manjunath Puranik, who headed the technical team, who helped us put this program, this platform for IGASIA, and helped people familiarize with this program. Thank you, Dr. Puranik. And I would like to convey my gratitude and heartfelt thanks to Dr. Namita, who worked tirelessly 24/7 with her team to make this event a grand success. I would like to thank Dr. Yashoda, Dr. Purnima, and all of the people who work with us as a team. We are deeply indebted to all our speakers who will be following us to exchange their wisdom, and they will be doing without any consideration. They are spending all their time and money for us. We would like to thank you all of you, all of you who have participated in this program. It's my privilege to thank all the delegates who are online, all the ladies and gentlemen connected to different states of this India who are going to benefit from this program. Thank you. Without your participation, this program wouldn't have been a great success. Finally, but not least, my deepest heartfelt thanks goes to Dr. Veena and our team who are heading this platform called IGASIA. Thank you very much for being with us and hand-holding us and making us familiar with this system. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As we look forward to learn more from the distinguished guests, speakers, and specialists, we hope this program is enjoyed and sessions, this orientation program is enjoyed by our dear students across India. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's break for national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Requesting all the students to be online. We take a break of 10 minutes, and the first lecture will be orientation to RGHS at 11 a.m. sharp.
You are currently the only person in this conference.
copied or misreported. System sound.
ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಂ ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
Students, we are here with our Prologue 2020 series webinar, which is hosted and sponsored by JCR and Madras under the aegis of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Karnataka, Bangalore. The first speaker of the day is Dr. Dayananda N, who is a professor of community medicine from Mysore Medical College. He is Deputy Director of Medical Education, served as a Deputy Director of Medical Education from 2014 to 2019. Presently, he is the Deputy Registrar at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, and he heads the Department of Advanced Research, and he is the Director of Department of Advanced Research at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore right now. So we are here And we are going to listen to him and he would orient us and welcome you all to Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your introduction. Warm welcome and a very good morning to all of you. I think most of the audience are from the students of MDS who have joined the course recently, the postgraduate course in dental sciences. So I think my talk will be helpful for them. How does the Rajiv Gandhi University works?
Slide.
Yes. Yes. Origin screen se pata baraha. Right. So RGHS is established under the Act 1994. It was established in the year 1996. All health sciences colleges in the state of Karnataka come under the umbrella of RGHS. Yes. The specialized university meant for teaching, training and research in health sciences. Jurisdiction includes the entire state of Karnataka, 700 plus institutions affiliated, offering UG, PG, fellowship, certificate, super specialty and PhD programs in health sciences. Vision of the university. So the vision of the university is bringing about a confluence of both Eastern and Western health sciences to enable the humankind live the full span of our lives allotted by God in perfect health. Academic excellence by educating and training health professionals, and to carry out professional obligations ethically and equitably and in keeping with national health policy. And to promote development of scientific temper in the health sciences research, to encourage inculcation of social accountability among students, teachers and institutions, and to support quality assurance for all its educational programs. Motto. The motto of the university is the right for rightful health sciences education. Yes. So coming to the organization chart. So the organization chart includes, first is the Chancellor of the university, is the Governor of Government of the Karnataka state, and then Pro Chancellor is the Medical Education Minister, and then Vice Chancellor is our Honorable Dr. Sachidanand, who has inaugurated the program, and then under the Vice Chancellor there are Registrar Evaluation and Finance Officer will work. Yes. Again, yes, organization structure same, Chancellor, Pro Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, and authorities include the Registrar Evaluation and other officers and officials of the university. Yes, authorities of RHS. So authorities include the Senate members and the syndicate members, Academic Council, Planning Board, Finance Committee, the faculties and Board of Studies. Yes, the classification of the authorities based on nature of functioning. So there are two types of functioning, that is administrative and the academic. So the administrative authorities is managed by the Senate, Syndicate, Planning Board and Finance Committee, and academic authorities. And academic authorities is managed by Academic Council, the faculties and Board of Studies. Yes. So the hierarchy of academic bodies is as follows. That is Academic Council, that is only one includes 60 members. And then the faculties is 6 faculty, which includes medical, dental, pharmacy, nursing and allied health sciences, which include 108 members. And then Board of Studies is 22 Board of Studies. So it includes 350 members. Yes, where we stand. So as of now, we started with only 220 colleges and 40,000 students. It is grown now multifold and crossed the 700 plus colleges and crossed
62,000 admissions per year. At any given point of time, 250,000 plus students are studying under RGHS. Yes, affiliation of colleges. It is governed by the Section 45 of RGHS Act 1994 and statutories drawn thereunder. And then the composition of LIC, the Local Inspection Committee, annual affiliation and permanent affiliation. Yes, administration. So local inspections are conducted by RGHS to verify the infrastructure, teaching facility, availability of teachers, clinical load, student facilities, and research opportunities. And the approval of admissions as per apex body norms, just like the Medical Council of India, it is replaced by the NMC, and then the Dental Council of India, then just like, and then Indian Nursing Council, so just like that. So the admissions are based on the apex body norms, and the admissions document verification and approval is as per the calendar of events. So before the course starts, we are going to draw the calendar of events. So as per the calendar of events, the activities will go on. That's issue of eligibility certificates online, and then publication of the approval list on website. Yes. So in the examination section, so which is a very important section as far as the students are concerned. So the examination section includes the pre-examination, the post-examination, and the student services. Yes, the pre-examination includes the various sections: medical, dental, Ayush, pharmacy, allied science, etc. Each section have to develop the examiners panel, appointment of examiners, that is by the board of studies, and then examination centers, then squads, observers, and flying squads, and then the QP section, that is a question paper section, which includes the electronic distribution of the question papers, the random generation. So how does this electronic distribution takes place is by means of the random generation, and then the password is protected by the encrypted form. 3-layered password to open the paper will be sent 15 minutes before examination, and then the admission card, the online generation by the principal with photo and signature, and then web portal for visualization by the spot or any authorized person, and then to curb the impersonation, and then multiple validation systems are followed. Yes, in the examination. So the administration of the examination, it includes the web streaming of examination centers. So the web streaming means all the examination centers are attached with the what you call the online system. So the examination centers can be directly visualized by the university authorities sitting in the university itself. So that is a web streaming. Next is the scanning of barcoded answer scripts, then digital evaluation, then online practical and internal assessment marks. Yes, the post-examination that is after the examination is over, then what are the things happen? That is answer booklets receiving, and then after the answer booklets received, then we are going to start up with the digital evaluation. So digital evaluation includes the scanning and storing in server, random unique code generation for each answer scripts, real-time capture of marks data, better computation of results or tabulation, early and better results, and remove the scope of retotaling, and then soft copy distribution of the answer copy. Yes, coming to research at the RGHS. So the advanced research wing was established in 2014. So the morning, as our Honorable Vice Chancellor has briefed you regarding the importance of the research in the medical education. So we are given much importance for the research. So the objective of the research is to create supportive and challenging environment for research in all the branches of health sciences. Yes. So research, it includes again The objective is to create a supportive, and it include it is the budget. Annual budget is 20 crore annual budget allocated, and then colleges to earmark certain money for research activities at the institutions. So we have begun with 20 crores, but now it has reached about 140 crores. Yes. So what is this advanced research section? Presently now I am heading the advanced research section. It includes the UG research, faculty research, collaborative research, and then theme-based research and PhD activities and RGHS scientific journal activities and startup and incubation research projects. Yes, types of research grants. So the research grants for teachers working in the affiliated colleges of RGHS, and the research grants for collaborative research between the RGHS, teachers and research institutions such as IAAC, CHG, NCBS, INJ and CSR. See, the IAAC is the Indian Institute of Science, and CHG and other, they are the organizations and the non-organizations which we are collaborating with for the research purpose. The theme-based collaborative research, and then research grants for undergraduate research. RGHS is also initiated efforts for integrated research and research on COVID-19. So this year research on COVID-19, we have already received many research projects, around nearly 20 projects we have received. Already the scrutinization of this is going on now. Yes, and also in the section of the advanced research, we have made many MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding with Research Institutes. Yes, so RGHS has signed a MOU with the following research institutes, as I told you earlier. It is Indian Institute of Science, INSTEM, Institute for Stem Cell Biology, and then Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, and then Center for Human Genetics, and then St. John's Research Academy, and then Maratha Mandal NGH Institute of Dental Sciences, Belgavi. The recent one project now it's going on is regarding the molecular biology, establishment of the molecular biology lab at the government medical colleges. About 16 government medical colleges we are now planning to establish the molecular biology. In that, Bangalore Medical College and the KIMS, that is KIMS Hubli, Karnataka Institute of Medical Science, they are supposed to have the advanced molecular biology laboratory, and then remaining 14 medical colleges will have the molecular biology laboratory. Yes. Yes, I am MOU with other universities. There is Health Education, England, and then Maastricht University and NIMANS. Research training, and also our Vice Chancellor is very interested in research. He also promotes the research training, like annual workshops on research methodology, and then residential training, like nanotechnology training at Indian Institute of Science, as I told you, and molecular biology training at Indian Institute of Science. Yes. And also the patent applied already, the research sponsored by RGHS have been applied for 5 patents. Yes, research grants released is as follows. Just you can see from 2014-15 to 2019-20. Next. So we do the collaborative research grants. It is started from 16-17 to 18-19. It amounts to about 10 crores, 81 lakhs, 53,000. Yes, undergraduate research program also is very well in place. That is all faculties like medical, Ayurveda, dental, homeopathy, nursing, pharmacy, allied sciences, physiotherapy. So we are promoting all the undergraduate research in all faculties. So far around 305 research projects have been released grants. Yes, the Prasaranga. The Prasaranga also is one of the very important section in the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. It functions. The functions of Prasaranga is as follows. One is establishing Center for Health Informatics, including PG course in library sciences, and then Helinet activities, bringing RGHS newsletter, preparation of annual report, promoting RAN activities, establishing IT cell and carry out the functions of IT cell, and statistics work, getting the ordinance books published. Yes, so it is a social welfare department. So the social welfare department, it includes the following functions, that is, issues the migration transfer, and then attending the grievance of the students, implementation of mandatory requirement of formation of committees by the apex bodies, and then foreign students grievance redressal cell. Yes, the curriculum development. So the curriculum development cell, it includes the recognition of PG guides. So which is very important for you all now at the present stage. So you have to meet the Department of Curriculum Development for the synopsis related work of PG students, and then dissertation work, and then the new course committee, the conduct of board of studies, faculty and AC meetings. AC means academic committee meetings, and then faculty updation activity including monitoring of promotion to teaching faculty, and then bringing ordinance changes as per the decision taken in academic meetings. Yes, procurement department. So the procurement is also very important department of the RGHS, which includes distributes the materials to the RGHS. That is, it works under the ambience of the KTPP Act 2000, and it is a centralized procurement. So anything the university wants, it has to go through procurement department. So I am presently holding this department also, and the annual indent from the sections also teaches the procurement. Then we have to give them the indent, and then e-procurement portal. So these are the functions of procurement department. Yes, sports and NSS activities. So Rajiv Gandhi University is very well famous in the entire country for its NSS activities. Our Vasant Shetty is very well known figure for the sports and NSS activities, and we carry out many NSS activities, and all the faculties are involved in this. It is medical, dental, and Ayurvedic, homeopathy, yogic sciences, allied health sciences, all the faculty are involved. And it includes the importance for the extracurricular activities and the inter-college, inter-zone, state level competitions. And then students of RGHS have secured medals in national level also. And then NSS unit of RU was accorded the first place in the country in the year 2014 for its social outreach programs. That is Divine Mother and Child Health Program. Yes, the training of teachers, TOT, it is called as RATI. So it includes the CME programs, conferences, hands-on workshop, special training on educational methods, and fellowship courses and certificate courses, and research methodology classes, training programs for doctors in life-saving skills, and training through simulation labs. And it is also very important because as far as all of you know that presently the recent what is the requirement to get the promotions in the for the medical fraternity is they have to undergo research training. Yes. Yes. New initiatives. So these are the new initiatives of the RGHS. Yes. That is introduction of the digital evaluation. So that is to improve the quality, speed, efficiency and transparency. The scanning, digitalizing, transmission, evaluation and result data processing. A clear preliminary system study and well-defined planning for resulted in successful implementation, and user-friendly evaluation process for the evaluators. So for that we have introduced the digital evaluation. Yes, so the revision of curriculum to meet the present day needs. As all of you are aware that the revision of curriculum has occurred in the medical as introduced by the MCI law, I think last year. So the curriculum revision has occurred. So regarding this revision of curriculum, we conduct the meeting in many folds, which includes the regulations prescribed by the councils or of minimum standards, even if some are mandatory. Education and training should be in consonance with health needs of the community, and revisions were done in 2007. There is a task of revising the curriculum to present day needs were taken up on a meticulous manner and systematically redesigned and updated to the present day standards. Yes, timely conduct of LIC inspections and issuance of consent of affiliation. Yes. So the heading itself, it depicts that the timely conduct of LIC inspections is very, very important. That is to promote the courses in the institutions, which includes that is delay in conduct of LIC inspections, resulting in delay of issuance of consent of affiliation, causing inconvenience to the colleges as well as to the student community. By bringing in transparency in the course of conduct of LIC inspections and thereby adhering to the calendar of events of affiliation process, the university could conduct the LIC inspections on time and issue consent of affiliation to the concerned colleges well in time. LIC team members were randomly selected by computer application. Yes, appointing university nominees to the governing councils of the colleges. So as per the provisions of the Act 1994 provides provision for nominating representatives of the university to the governing body of the affiliated colleges. So the representatives have been nominated by university for all the medical, dental and other discipline colleges, and a notification has been issued in this regard. The provisions of the Act has been implemented. Yes, publication of the annual report. So the preparation of annual report is a statutory requirement. The Act stipulates that universities shall prepare the annual reports after the approval of Senate. The copies of the annual report along with resolution of the Senate shall be sent to the government and shall be laid before both the houses of the state legislature. Annual reports are being submitted to the government for placing it before the houses. Online payment gateway. Yes, to ease the payment activities of colleges and students, it was decided to implement online payment gateway. Now all the payments made to the university is only through online payment gateway. This service is designed to reach the widest possible user, so it has the understandable user interface. In addition, all the transfers, remote access to, okay, we will change the online payment gateway. Okay. Yes, next. Yes, remote access to journals through Hellenic Consortium to students and teachers of affiliated colleges. Extending access to e-sources through Hellenic Consortium has become popular since many years. A step forward in this direction has been thought, and a remote access to e-resources has been extended. Now a student or faculty can have access to e-resources at the click of a mouse. Yes. Timely announcement of results and online issue of copies of the answer scripts. So the introduction of planned and systematic calendar of events for examination supported by digital evaluation resulted in timely announcement of results and online issue of photocopies of the answer scripts. The present system evaded the drawbacks of manual evaluation. The present day technology in association with National Informatics Center, a Government of India organization, has been utilized to the fullest extent to make sure that all possible activities of examination result process are automated. Even the VC, if the Vice Chancellor also want to know the result of any of his relatives, anybody, it's not possible because it is done by National Informatics Center. Yes, online thesis submission and evaluation. Yes. Yes, there is a help desk for addressing student queries. So you should know that being a student, you should know what happens at the help desk, with an aim that the student who come with a query to the university should be attended with utmost importance and its query should be attended immediately. A dedicated help desk has been established. The experienced personnel trained with communication skill, listening skills, interpersonal skills are posted. This has developed confidence in the student community on the university. Yes. So I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to brief about our university. So Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. Thank you one and all. I'm great next.
I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Dayananda for wonderful introduction to our QFS. Now I request our Dean Cum Director to hand Sir a memento on behalf of Alumni Association and GDC Bangalore. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we have a second speaker for the day, that is Professor C.D. Karnataka, who is going to orient us to MDS course, Basic Approach to Learning. We have, this session is moderated by Dr. Sushma R. Dalwani, who is a professor of periodontics, currently heading the Department of Periodontics at VSN College and Hospital, Bangalore, with a total teaching and clinical experience of over 30 years. She has about 12 publications in various national and international journals and has been a guest speaker at various CD programs and symposia. Over to you, ma'am. Kindly request you to introduce our speaker for the day. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's begin the first lecture of the day. I have the privilege of introducing Dr. Dwarkanath sir. Dr. Dwarkanath sir completed his BDS degree from Government Dental College, Bangalore in the year 1975. Obtained his master's degree in periodontics from Tamil Nadu Government Dental College in the year 1980. Since then, he has been teaching. He is completely involved in academics for last 40 years, and he has trained lot of students in India and abroad. He has also lectured extensively throughout the country, and he is one of the most sought after speakers in the field of periodontology. Now, he has delivered almost 175 orations, and he retired as the professor, head of the Department of Periodontology and the Director of Postgraduate Studies at Vishnu Dental College, Bhimavaram. He has also served as a member of the Board of Studies, PhD Board, and research grants and curriculum and syllabus committees of various universities. He has conducted many teachers training programs. He was the past president of Indian Society of Periodontology, has more than 60 publications in international journals to his credit. He is one of the editors and contributing author to the most popular South Asian adaptation of the 12th and 13th edition of Karanza. All postgraduate students and undergraduate students of periodontology are familiar with this textbook. And I had the opportunity of working under Dr. Dwarkanath for a very short period of time, and I learned a lot from him, and I'm sure all the students are going to benefit immensely from his talk. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sushma. That introduction was really very nice. Right. My dear students, welcome to all of you to our program and to our university. At the outset, I hope, trust, and pray God that all of you and your members of your family may all keeping well, fine in these extraordinary circumstances. It's very strange and odd for me, to be speaking to unseen faces. I have done few webinars, but I always enjoyed talking to the students in person. I never remain stationary at the podium. I move along in the auditorium. I interact with my students, And these are the things I sorely miss today. Particularly when I meet young new students, it enlivens me and it rejuvenates me. Anyway, under the circumstances, this is unavoidable. Now, when you open a newspaper or when you switch on the TV today, you are only seeing depressing news. In fact, if I ask you to classify good news and bad news on a single day, your list will be full of not so encouraging news. Yes, these are extraordinary circumstances. The economy has slowed down, and particularly we, the dental surgeons, are affected very badly. And I think everything looks bleak. But what I want to specifically tell all of you is that anything good or bad, it won't last long. These dark days will definitely give rise to good days. I just remember a few days ago, Bangalore received heavy rains. It rained throughout the night. The wind was so bad that everything appears to be blown away. There was no power and everything was scary. But when I went to my usual walk in Lal Bagh the next morning, everything was clean, nice. The weather was mild, sun was mild, everything was beautiful green. So my dear friends, these things are not going to last long. One thing I assure, I would want all of you is that this is not going to last long, and one thing that we should not lose is hope and enthusiasm. This is a beautiful piece I have taken from Sundarakanda, where Lord Hanuman says, non-depression is the root of development. Non-depression means encouragement, zeal, enthusiasm. Absence of despondency is the greatest comfort, and self-reliance always is indeed the promoter in all matters. And again, whatever we do, it should be with full of enthusiasm. So my dear students, cheer up. Everything is going to become all right. Now coming to the annual dental admissions in India, we had about 313 colleges admitting about 26,000 or nearly 27,000 students for BDS, and about 269 institutions offering admission to about 6,573 MDS students in various branches. So out of nearly 27 students, 1,000 students every year, hardly about 6,500 and odd students get a chance to do MDS. And my dear students, you are among them. So my heartiest congratulations. But now the course has really begun. We should look at two things. One thing is that you are almost sure to get your MDS degree 3 years henceforth. That means in 2024, more than 90% of you will be having MDS degree. In fact, I always joke that university, after your admission was confirmed, has already printed your MDS degree certificate. It's like a post-dated check, and you will get it. But then, my dear students, two things you have to make. You simply want to get MDS in periodontics, MDS in orthodontics, MDS in prosthodontics, or you want to be really a good endodontist, you want to be a really good prosthodontist, or you want to be an orthodontist. This is entirely your choice. Because everybody will pass. That's not the idea. But what you learn is very important. So you have to educate yourself. Look at these two beautiful definitions. A change from the good and a change from ignorance to knowledge, inability to competence, and from indifference to understanding. Never forget this motto, my dear students. Go back. basic tenets of education. One thing you must understand, no money, position or anything is going to last forever in your life. Only knowledge and wisdom will always be with you. And these two are the things that will never lessen when you share. And who is the best friend of a student? It's the books. And for us teachers, you are our best friends. Without you students, we teachers do not exist. There is no place for us. And only a person can recite Vedas when he has learned them, not by simply by hearting. These are the tenets, my dear students, which you should always remember. Okay, you may say, sir, we have already learned so many things in BDS. What is there in MDS? In fact, what is the difference between BDS and MDS? In BDS, in BDS, my dear students, you can imagine in this picture, you are in this train, a passenger is looking out, you don't know where the train is going, right? That means you simply joined and you didn't know your destination. But MDS is not like that. In MDS, you know your destination, you know your manzil. Okay, that is what it is, because this was your choice. MDS, BDS, it was something absolute and change. It's not possible. I have to control my in BDS, it was something like this. This is a riddle. I will just give you a minute and a half. Read this thoroughly and see if you can make out something out of this. Each sentence is not related to another. Everything is observed. You can't make the head and tail of this. Where is the newspaper? What is young children? What complications? Where is the question of rain? One needs a lot of space. Everything is jumbled up, isn't it? But yet, my dear students, if I tell you that in tomorrow's question paper, this essay is coming, you will definitely write about it. You will by heart it, even though not understanding anything of it. But what exactly is this? For those of you who have solved this riddle, my congratulations, you are really good. I will show you the answer. This is what MDS is, my dear students. The title is there, the subject, and now everything makes sense, isn't it? Newspaper is better than a magazine, a seashore is better place than a street. Complications are minimal, of course, rain soaks it fast. If too many people are there, then obviously the kites will get strangled against each other, come down, isn't it? Now if I ask you to write, you will write pages together because you know what it is. So that is exactly what is MDS. You should understand what you are learning. In BDS, it was a chance rather than choice. You had no idea what was in store. You depended on teachers or guides. There were tight boundaries, so many subjects to study, and there was a very limited scope to explore. And what was very important is there is a very limited reasoning. Whereas MDS, it is self-directed, it is self-motivated, self-applied. You set your bar, my dear friends. There is no upper limit. You have to set what is it. There is everything to learn. No boundaries, limitations. There is abundant scope to explore. And what is again very important is analysis and reasoning. If you ask me about all these, what is the most important factor? It is the analysis and reasoning. Let's take a look at this. In BDS, you learn that diabetes mellitus is characterized by hyperglycemia. But as you know, most of the life-threatening complications of diabetes occur due to hypoglycemia. That's why diabetic patients are always asked to carry some ready available glucose along with them, isn't it? Did you wonder what is it? NUG or necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis is usually ulceration found in the tips of the papillae and marginal gingiva, at least in the initial stages. But why then the attached gingiva is not involved? Acquired immunity, you all know, you will tell me. One of the properties is that it can differentiate self from non-self. And when this property is disturbed, you get autoimmune disease. But then how come the male sperms are not ejected in the female body? Ulcers are painful lesions. But then why primary syphilitic ulcers are painless? Leukoplakia, lichen planus, etc. They are white lesions. But have you ever wondered why these lesions are white? So, my dear students, that is what MDS is. In other words, it revolves around these things. Why, where, when, how, and why not. In fact, if I can tell you, the MDS examination, the bivalves and the chairside discussion, most of the examiners will be asking you only this. Why is that? How is that? When is that? Where? This is what it is. Right? So let's go to now the objectives of postgraduate dentistry. You have to obtain academic excellence. It is not simply shallow knowledge of something. You have to be really good because you are going to become a specialist. You should develop a very good clinical acumen. Dentistry is always clinics, right? You cannot learn dentistry in webinars, sitting in the library. No, you have to treat on patients and you have to develop clinical acumen. Our MDS curriculum also allows you to develop sound research potential. Already, my esteemed earlier speaker has highlighted what are all the facilities available in Rajiv Gandhi University for conducting research. Then you have to develop a positive attitude and you have to become responsible. That is the one main thing in MDS because you stay in one department, you stay under one set of teachers and where you are going to see them every day and you have to become responsible. You have to develop professionalism and most importantly, you have to develop ethical values. All these form the objectives of postgraduate education, my dear friends. Let me start with what is meant by professionalism. Who is a professional? Of course, the straight definition is one who works for money in his chosen field. But this is a very narrow definition. Yes, we all need money, but that is not the end of it. A professional is an expert who has got specialized knowledge in his specialty. He is a master of his trade. He has to do high quality work and all other things, professional ethics, behavior, work culture, all these things you have to develop. And you should have a good, reasonable work morale and motivation. But what I give most importance is the last one who makes the job he is doing look very ridiculously simple. See, if my car gets a flat tire, I can change it, but it takes a lot of time and effort for me to change it. Whereas if I call a car mechanic, he will do it in a jiffy because he is trained. He does it again and again, and he is the master of the trade, isn't it? So that's how it should become. When you see your teacher doing a procedure, it looks ridiculously simple. It's not that it has just come out from the heaven. Your teacher has practiced over the years. He or she has developed that expertise. So, my dear friends, you have to learn and you have to practice such that all that you do looks very simple. Right. Now, let's see what are the components of the MDS course. We can briefly, classify it into three domains: the cognitive domain, the psychomotor domain, and the affective domain. These words may be strange to you, but when I explain it, it will be very clear. What is cognitive domain? Cognitive domain is the domain of knowledge. You have to apply knowledge from various sources, right? How do you do? Applying knowledge from various sources, the books, the journals, the various other means that is available to you. Today, the internet forms a big source, the electronic media. Then you also get knowledge by listening. In fact, that's what is happening today. I am sure you are bored to death listening. Countless webinars, so many programs. Everything is available at a touch. You just go to YouTube, you can listen to any lecture that you want, right? Then you improve your knowledge by seminars and journal clubs. These are very important. Yes, you have to take pains to prepare your seminar, more details of which will be given by my colleague in the topic on seminars. But what I would right now would like to tell you is that please make an effort to prepare your own seminar. It is always tempting to go through a senior seminar. Of course, everything is available. It's so many years after we started seminar in your own department. I am sure all your seniors would have presented on any particular topic many times. So they are all readily available. So there is always a temptation, just copy, paste and present your seminar. No, that's not correct, my dear friends. And one more thing I want to tell you. You are supposed to present 15 seminars, right? Out of the 15 seminars, my dear friends, I will both say at least 5 to 6 questions in your final university examination will appear from those seminars. You can be sure of that. So if you have prepared your seminar well, answering university papers will be very easy. Journal clubs again are very important, right? You know what is happening in dentistry or in your specialty, this thing. You are given a chance to extensively study on one topic and present it in a dissertation form. This is called as library dissertation. Again, this gives you a chance to go in deep on any particular topic that you have been assigned, and you will really be a master of this topic. Imagine this library dissertation topic comes as in your final year as a 3-hour essay. How glad you will be. You will simply, write it off, isn't it? Then group discussions. Of course, discussions are the main source of how you gain knowledge. Okay, you will gain more with a good group discussion rather than studying any book. And finally, the various CDE programs, the various conventions, symposia, pre-conference courses, and hands-on courses, all these things will give you a lot of opportunities to gain knowledge. So these are the cognitive domain, the domain of the mind or the knowledge. Next, we have the psychomotor domain. Psychomotor domain is the domain of mind and hands. It's not enough if you simply develop knowledge, if you have knowledge, acquire knowledge. Dentistry is totally skill, it's hands work. You have to practice and perfect the clinical skills. Don't be satisfied just by completing the quota, my dear friends. Oh, I have done 30 class 2 amalgam or inlay restorations, my quota is over. No, you have to practice, perfect. Okay, and you have to practice and perfect on different types of patients. Okay, ideal case is there where you probably will do well. What about a case that is not ideal? So instead of telling, I have done 30 impactions, if you say, I have done 10 impactions in a very difficult horizontal impactions, I have done 1 impaction in a pregnant female, I have done 1 impaction in a medically compromised patient, or I have done 1 complete denture in a lower foundation, which was a very poor lower foundation. If you say, if you do that, you will be perfect. And you have to learn all types of techniques. Don't be satisfied. For example, in periodontics, yes, we all know, right from my teacher's time, last 70 years, for the examination, only flap operation is given. or for an oral surgery, you will be asked to take out an impacted tooth. But that should not limit your this thing. You should learn all types of technical procedures. Okay? And most important thing, my dear friends, you have to practice, and you have to reach a reasonable amount of consistency. And consistency is what it matters. It is not enough. Once in a while you get a good thing. Many times our students, for example, in my own field in periodontics, they do one subepithelial connective tissue graft for a root coverage. The result comes out well. Or they place their first implant, they think, oh, I've become implantologist. No, it is not like that. 9 out of 10 times, for example, we have to get the same result. You understand, my dear friends? Consistency is very important. Remember, Robert Dravid, he was known for his consistency. That means every time when he goes out to bat, you could expect that he will perform well, right? Then we come to the affective domain, the domain of mind, hands, and heart. Okay, you have the knowledge. You are very good in your clinical skill. Will that make you a good professional? No. You have to have these things, an effective empathizing with the patients. Patients are rare commodities, my dear friends, today. Particularly today. When I say today, they are the ones. They are afraid to come to the clinic. You are afraid to approach them. And where are you going to learn? From the last 6 months or 7 months, most of us have not seen enough patients. In fact, this time the examination went on in most of the colleges without any clinical procedures. Is that what we need? No. So when the patient comes, we have to empathize with them, right? And needless to say, we have to maintain the dignity, the decorum, the respect, ethics, etiquette, and deportment. You should know how to behave as a professional with your patients. Your mannerism, your type of dressing, your commitment to work, professional ethics, all should be of very high standard. You call a patient today for final impression, the patient comes from a far off place, braving all the problems, and you say it is not ready or give some lame excuse. No, that is not professional ethics. When you give a word, you have to do it, my dear friends. Right? Jo wada kiya ho, nibhana padega. That is your mantra. And most importantly, remember that patient is a human being. So treat him as a human being. Okay. I don't want to go more into this again. Another resource person will highlight you, but I believe these are the things that differentiate not so good or an average doctor from a very good doctor. Okay, patients will always remember a kind doctor. Right. Now it is not enough if you simply learn how to do a complete denture or place an implant or do a flap operation or do a very good posterior endo. There are additional learning that adds to the value of your post-graduation. In fact, today, my dear friends, more than your MDS, it is these things, if you learn, that will, make your further professional career very rewarding and very encouraging, right? You have to learn computer programs, right? All of you, I know, today's generation, you are good, but then you have to learn advanced programs, because today dentistry has gone into so much advancement that there is a software program for, in fact, every branch. In fact, implantology is zero without a software background. There are so many, artificial intelligence in dentistry also is not very far. So we have to be very good in these things. There is no place for computer illiteracy. Radiological techniques you have to learn. After all, I know those other than oral medicine radiology, you would have had very limited exposure in your BDS. But today you should learn how to take your own radiographs. You should be good at, the various radiological techniques. In fact, many colleges arrange special programs for other branches, students other than oral medicine students to get techniques that you have to do, right? Clinical photography is very, very important. You have to keep record, my dear friends, right? Without photographs, nobody will accept your work. At the end of your MDS course, there should be a beautiful album, containing photographs of all your successfully treated cases. There is no photographer available in every college. Even if he is available, he is not available when you need it. So you should all learn clinical photography. We have a separate session in our this award program also, which will tell you about insights of clinical photography, but then you have to learn it. Photography is not only for orthodontic students. All of you should learn. You have to possess a camera or you have to share a camera. Then use of special equipments like laser, CAD-CAM, dental operator microscope, T-scan, implants, etc. All of you should learn. In fact, two very good implantologists in India, they are oral medicine, oral pathologists in their MDS. But today they are so famous, right? So there is no bar on you to learn implants, even if you say belong to oral medicine or oral pathology or conservative dentistry. Anything learn more is always good. One big problem, I have interviewed many students, I have taken their feedback. One big problem they all say is that lack of communication skills. They don't know how to communicate. You have to learn communication skills. If not with anyone, you have to learn communication with your patient, where you be able to explain. And in fact, today, I'm sorry to say that you have to sell your profession. I mean, you have to sell what you are going to do. The patient is a very, intelligent fellow. He will do a lot of window shopping before coming to your clinic. So you have to make him. So communication skills are very important. Infection control, waste disposal, I don't have to highlight it. Today, infection control is so important. We are all struggling to combat the COVID-19. In fact, many dental surgeons have gone one step ahead. They have become entrepreneurs. Various types of face shields, masks, everything, they have developed. So what I say is that this pandemic, we don't have to take it very negatively. It may give us an opportunity, to further our own profession. Nothing is impossible. And of course, BLS, basic life support, in BDS you would have learned it, but if you have not, it is time you should learn, because you are all, my dear students, you are members of a health profession. You can't say I am only an orthodontist, I fix brackets, or I only know how to make an impression. BLS and all is not my cup of tea. No, you can't do that. You have to be complete in all aspects. In such a pandemic, as you know, so many dental postgraduate students were deputed to work in various centers. So many of the students have done excellent job, be it collecting a swab or be it testing a patient, everything. So you have to learn various other things. You have to know how to be a public health personnel rather than being limited as a dental surgeon. And of course, as our practice improved, so also there is disagreement or, the patients, dissatisfaction among patients, so which has led to a lot of legal problems. So needless to say, my dear students, you should know dental jurisprudence, consumer rights, everything. You cannot be ignorant of that. So how to conduct a practice, what are all the things, what is informed consent, what is negligence, what is contributory negligence, what is actionable negligence. All these things you have to be aware of, right? Don't start trying to search through Google when you have actually landed in a problem. Today, there are patients have become very smart. When they come to you, they go through everything, they know what it is. So, my dear students, you have to be extremely cautious. You should have a knowledge in these things. What are all the things you should necessarily possess? All the instruments, specified by your department. I know some institutions have their own instruments, but I always prefer to work with my instruments, my dear students, right? I would love to drive my car. My car only listens to me. Tomorrow you may take Amitabh Bachchan's new Mercedes S-Class, but you may not enjoy it, although it is the most expensive car, 1.6 crores, I believe it costs, but then you are very comfortable in your Maruti or the Alto, my dear friends. So always use your own instruments, you will be good at it. Then some standard textbooks, I don't say you have to buy it essentially because editions keep changing, but you should have the standard textbooks, you borrow it from your library, it should be available at your disposal. What I am finding today, my dear students, is students do not go to library. Everything they feel that their laptop will do. Okay, even in a seminar class, when a question is asked, the first thing students do is, they go to Google through their mobile. Okay, I don't say it is not correct, but you must read textbooks. Many journals we buy at college because the DCA has said so, you should have some 8 international journals coming. Many times I find that the journals are not even open. When I go and this thing, the fresh fragments of the unopened book, it is always, I can smell it. No, my dear students, that is not the way. You should read. You remember the first few slides. Who is the best friend of a student? It is always the books, my dear friends. So read these books, right? Then of course, laptop, computer with internet connection and a pen drive is very important. This pen drive, you should always carry it along. Supposing you go to a conference, you listen to a very good presentation, you can go and ask the speaker. Many of them are ready to share there with you. So immediately a pen drive, connect it, download it. That's how we should do. Camera for clinical presentation. Again, as I told you, how important is the next slide. This next slide. Okay, a camera for your taking photographs, it is very important. Again, it is a lifetime investment. It won't get bad. Or if you cannot buy a camera, at least all the batch of your classmates, you can have one camera for yourself. If you don't like it, you can always sell it to your next batchmates. But it is very, very important, as I told you, you have to develop clinical photography, right? Take the pictures of all the procedures you do, pre-operative, post-operative. Many times I find the albums kept, incomplete. So that is not, it doesn't reflect very well on your work. Then the next important thing is the standard dictionary like Oxford, Thesaurus. Of course, these days nobody buys it. Your mobile or your laptop will give you this, but then it is not always possible to boot your laptop or mobile may be out of charge. I always read. You see, I can read my daily newspaper on my internet, but that doesn't give me any pleasure. Morning when I get up, I need a hot cup of coffee along with a freshly arrived newspaper. You may call me as old generation, but that's what it is, my dear friends. Something you have physically in your hands, that's always good. Then you will have a lot of patients taking various medications, right? You will get medically compromised patients. Right? Not all of them will be taking drugs which are the names of which are familiar to you. So it is very important that you have a drug index like a SIMS, the cumulative index for medical services. The latest copy in the department, keep it. Some odd name, trade name or the generic name the patient is taking. So immediately you should know what it is, whether it is for diabetes, whether it is for hypertension, whether it is for increasing or decreasing the heart rate, you require that. So keep one copy, the latest copy of this drug index always available in your department, and more so particularly for perio-oral surgery such areas or branches where you do regular surgery. It is very, very important. A diary is very, very important. Always note down the tasks at hand when you have to present your next seminar, what assignment your teacher has given, and of course, entire patient record. If your teacher asks in the morning, okay, what is your workload today? How many patients do you have? Immediately you should be able to say, I have this patient for a class 2 restoration, this patient is coming for crown, or so and so is coming for trial of my denture. That is what it is. If you don't have a diary, everything will be irregular. Don't commit everything to memory. It will prevent a lot of problems, my dear friends. Unnecessarily, you will get into the bad books of your teacher. So, simple thing, you should know what's the task at hand. And a notepad is very important. A pen and a notepad, it should always be in your person. Your teacher might be telling you very important information, immediately write it down. Don't commit to memory, right? Unfortunately, today, the digital world has so much engrossed us. Many times students don't carry a pen. When I ask, you have a pen, they look at their neighbors. You see, it's extremely not good for a student, right? So, diary and notepad is very, very important. Then, of course, you have to remain healthy, my dear students. Health considerations are very important. Don't get into bad habits. Develop good habits. Eat nutritious, sattvic food. Have some exercise, sports, jogging, etc. Yoga, meditation, prayer, whatever it is, which helps you, to be in good health. Because one of the problems which a postgraduate student faces is during his post-graduation is the health problems. I don't want any of you to get into health problems, and you need proper financial planning. You need money for all these things. Of course, nothing comes free. You have to pay your fees for your living expenses. Dissertation, yes, many times dissertation turns out to be expensive. So you see your financial status, and when you are selecting a topic itself, you should see the financial aspects of that also. You have to attend conferences, CD programs and all that, for which you need money, registration, travel and all that. And you need money for photography, Xerox, stationery and all the unforeseen expenses. And regarding conferences, CD programs, yes, the Dental Council expects you to present 2 papers and some 3 publications and some poster presentations, all these things for which you have to attend your conference. Usually every branch has 2 conferences, one meant essentially for postgraduate students, the other is the general conference. In addition to that, there will be many CD programs and conventions which give you a chance to listen to good speakers in the subject. There will be well-arranged hands-on courses, pre-conference courses, and those things which you cannot learn during your regular curriculum. For example, laser. Many colleges have, just for the sake of it, one Chinese-made diode laser, which you may not be able to use it for all the things. There will be, for example, a 2-day laser program arranged by an institution with good faculty. You should attend all these things, Similarly, how to work in magnification, all these things. So it provides opportunities for you to present your papers, posters, etc., which, as I said, it is mandatory. And also it gives you an opportunity to meet students from other colleges and exchange notes. And when I say exchange notes, it doesn't mean that you should only exchange your WhatsApp number and other details. Exchange note means what is available in your library, what is that you are doing, how are you tackling this, all those things. But I know that doesn't happen more. Socializing is more common in these conferences. So that's why I have suggested the limitations. There is a lot of time spent on traveling. Of course, you are in Bangalore and the conference is in Chandigarh or in Shimla. Everybody cannot afford to fly by air. It takes too much of time to travel by train from one part of the country to another. And so many times it is expensive, the delegate fee and all is very high. And many times you are disappointed with the quality of lectures. And as I said, there is always a temptation to socialize and sightseeing at the cost of learning. So my simple this thing is attend not more than 3 conferences in a year. You can study the list of speakers and topics and say whether it is interesting to you. Then you attend. Of course, your teachers or your HOD, they are the best advisors in this regard. And in addition to all these things, my dear students, you are almost part of the staff, so you are expected to do additional duties. You should participate in the departmental upkeep. The department belongs to you. In BDS, you attended hardly for say a month or so, and you went away to another department. But in MDS, 3 years, you are going to be in the same department. This is your home. So the departmental upkeep is your responsibility, it is your duty. Don't expect everything to be done by, others, auxiliary staff. So it is your, even if you don't have to sweep or clean a spittoon, you just ask, at least draw the attention of your peon or an ayah and see that everything is kept clean. Okay, it's very, very important. It's your duty. There are various college-related activities are there. For example, you are very good in, say, designing a magazine. You can read out. You can help in this thing. Or you are good in cultural activity. This thing, you can participate in the college activity, and you have to. Of course, UG training is very important. You are asked to take 2-3 lectures as part of your PG program, but there are other UG trainings. Say, for example, you may be asked to do this thing, if not a lecture, a group discussion, or this thing, symposium or something. This thing for your UG training, you may be asked to go and help them out when they are with their patients. To just demonstrate to them all these things you have to do. And of course, you may be asked sometimes to do an invigilation duty and various other assistances. You cannot refuse, say that this is not my job, right? So these are all the additional duties that you have to do it very gracefully and heartily, okay? I don't say everything is bed of roses. Even in roses, there are thorns. So there are many problems you may encounter. Although, God forbid, I don't want any of you to get into these problems. As I told you, the main problem is communication. Students do not know how to express, right? Either with the guides, with the teachers, colleagues, or with the patients. Okay? You should develop, the proper ways of communication. One thing is to be very honest. Don't tell lies. Okay. Completing the task in time, presenting in time is very important. So time management is extremely important. Don't wait for till the last day to complete any task. Do it in advance and relax. Right? If you have completed, you are preparing for tomorrow's seminar. No, 2-3 days before itself. Then you can in fact go and enjoy a movie today. Isn't it? Then patients, it's a big problem, not securing patients who have been given appointment, they don't return. You have done all the records, everything, you have made impressions, only to find that the patient's not coming. Yes, this is an eternal problem with most of the institutions. In fact, I say other than government dental colleges, every private college has this problem, and particularly during this pandemic, my friends, it is always how to get the patients and make them return. Well, that is a different subject. I hope someday I will be able to tell you the points, how to do that, the tricks. Dissertation, again, there will be a completely another lecture on this thing, how to select patients, everything. Yes, reprimand from teachers, humiliation in front of patients and colleagues, these are very common. Teachers don't intentionally won't like to hurt you. they want you to improve. So you have to be, but today unfortunately many of the young students, they are very sensitive and they go to such extent, but it's not that. Always remember, when your father scolds you, it is only for your good. Financial problems will come. I already told you, you have to plan your finances well. Today you get loans, education loans are available, and always see to that this thing will not come. The main thing I want is cut out all the unnecessary expenditures. Okay, if you don't see a movie or don't attend a party or something, it doesn't matter, but see that there is enough money to pay your fees, to buy some essential things and other things. And the last one, what I have told you, marriage, pregnancy, these are not problems in MDS in any way you are concerned. They are all your personal problems. It should not affect the MDS course, right? I have a small child, I have to go, I have to look after, my child is not well, I have got engaged. These are not the things, my dear friends. Let us not talk about it. You have to plan your personal life. In these 3 years, my only mantra is that you should concentrate only on MDS, not on anything else. So, finally, a few take-home tips, my dear students. Be sincere and honest in all your actions. Okay, if you don't do very well in your final examination, supposing, God forbid, your teacher will tell you, no, this boy is very sincere, he has been honest throughout, somehow today he has not done well. Well, we have to consider his case. That's how it should be. Okay, never become arrogant. Okay, normally this thing goes, when the student enters MDS, he becomes a lecturer. After submitting dissertation, he becomes a reader. And once he passes MDS, he becomes a professor. No, that is not done with none of you. That is going to happen. You are all going to be humble. 3 H's, my friends: hard work, honesty, humility. These 3 should be the watchwords for you. Don't use shortcut methods. Okay, try learning everything in detail. Hard work will be rewarded. And another thing that I find with my students is that they compare with students of other colleges. They say, oh, so and so college, nobody bothers, they are not strict with seminars, this thing, they can do anything. No, that is not. I already told you in the beginning, it is self-directed, self-motivated. That's what post-graduation is. You don't bother about what is happening in other departments or what is happening in other colleges. You are yourself. You try to become perfect, right? And when you get into a problem, do not hesitate to approach your teachers and authorities. Simply don't go by what your senior students say. Your senior students will say, oh, Dr. Dwarkanath, don't go to him. He is very strict. He is a taskmaster. No, it is not like that. When your problems are genuine, you will get solutions, right? And if there are any other problems, right, I don't want to mention them. Please do not hesitate to go to your authorities. Okay, you can always go to your principal or anyone. Okay, the problem should be genuine, that's all. Don't manufacture problems. Nothing is impossible to learn if you have the will, and most importantly, my dear students, have confidence in yourself. Okay, nothing is more important than confidence. So, you have come to this course. Again, my heartiest congratulations to you. Remember this, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but it's a habit. Let excellence be ingrained in your lives, and excellence should not be an exception, it should be a habit. So once again, my dear students, thank you very much. I really, again, I feel very odd. I am not able to see you. By this time, I would have moved along with you, interacted with you, cracked jokes, everything, but that's not possible. I pray God, as I told, put up in my first slide itself, I do not lose enthusiasm. I am always hopeful. As I told you, yesterday night it rained very badly, but today morning it is beautiful. Wo subha to kabhi to aayegi. Okay, you should remember that. And I wish you all the best, and you can approach me through email, any problem that you have, academic problems, of course, and I wish you all the best of luck, not only for your MDS course, but in your future lives. Again, I trust that all you and your members of your family are keeping fine. Please take care. You have waited all this long. Okay, it's only another few days or a few weeks, that's all. Everything will become all right. So don't lose patience. Again, God bless you. All the best. Thank you. And my GDCRI, also my alma mater, Alumni Association, and Rajiv Gandhi University for giving me this opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Darkanath, sir. It was a wonderful lecture. So you beautifully brought out the differences between the MDS and the BDS students. You also talked about the 3 domains the students have to go through, and I'm sure students will learn a lot from this lecture. Sir, one important aspect I would like you to again re-emphasize is regarding reading of textbooks versus journals. Because most of the MBA students are under impressions that they need to read only journals and there is no need to read textbooks. So probably if you can highlight the importance of textbooks a little more to the students, I think they will be benefited. Because they think textbooks are for BDS students and only journals are for MDS students.
Yeah, you are right, Dr. Sushma. In fact, before starting any journal club, even you read a journal, you should know all the basics. So that's why in my first necessary things I have highlighted on textbooks. Always read textbooks first. Only when you have the basic information, then only you can go to journals. My next speaker, Dr. Ravindra will tell you about data mining. He will highlight, I'm sure, before you go to Google or any various things, domains which he will tell you, it is very important you read the standard textbooks in your specialty, right? That is very important, the importance of which cannot be overemphasized. Yes, Dr. Sushma, I totally agree with you.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for that excellent lecture. I am sure students would have benefited immensely from your lecture, sir. Because you have given a complete overview what needs to be done for next 3 years so they can plan better.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Darkanath, sir, and Sushma ma'am. Now we have the second lecture for the day on data mining. And we have Dr. Ravindra with us. Over to you, ma'am. Practice go. Introduction will go. Just let it begin. Yeah, dear students, we are just having 10 minutes delay in this second session as the PPT is getting uploaded. We would like you to fill up the feedback forms which are there in the IGCR website where you are signed in. Please look into that and give your feedback at the end of each session or at least at the end of the day. Hope you have understood. There is a feedback form which is included in your registration page that you have signed in through IGCR. Please log into it and give us your feedback. It is very important.
Mute.
Good afternoon once again. We are here with a short delay of 10 minutes for our second lecture of the day on data mining. Dr. Sushma, ma'am?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Our second speaker for the day is Dr. Saudi, and he is going to talk to us about data mining. Dr. Ravindra Saudi is a professor of prosthodontics. He is the immediate past president of Indian Prosthodontic Society. He is a PhD guide at Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, has 27 publications at various national and international journals. He is also the immediate past president. He is the past president of Indian Dental Association, Karnataka State Branch and Bangalore Branch. Over to you, Dr. Saudi.
Good afternoon. Apologies for, I think I look at the camera.
Yeah, there.
So apologies for the delay. And I think your morning has been well spent. Professor Karnataka sir has given you a good idea about how to go about generally your overall postgraduate efforts. So I am going to talk about data mining. That is my what do we mean by data mining? Data mining, the learning objective is to increase the skills in conducting an efficient computerized search using scientific search engines and a library to answer a specific legal question. So it is important for this to be disciplined and focused. You need to know what you're going to do, to know the available information sources if you wish to practice your daily work in an evidence-based way. So viable search strategies like Dr. Nath photograph books will not go out of our work, and you need to develop some reading habit, and that is the most important thing that you need to have. So you have to take up anything and read anything. It can be a textbook, or it can be a journal, or it can be on the net. So reading is the most important habit that you need to cultivate. So other areas where you can get are the journal articles, and then scientific papers, dissertations, accepted dissertations which are published also, and web search engines. So my topic today is to sit at your desk and look for data of articles. Textbooks also I will discuss with you what is the use of it, how a textbook goes out, whether it is relevant, and whether journals are relevant. So those are things I'm going to discuss with you. My topic basically is to let you know how the Medline works. So there are numerous important advantages of online access to literature databases and availability at any time and any place in the world, easy handling due to the user-friendly interface of the World Wide Web, capability of linking directly to the private database. So for general purpose searching, Googling can help largely. If you still have to find out what you got is a valid information or not. So these are the scholarly search engines which you can make use of. Google Scholar, Google Books, Microsoft Academic, Worldwide Science, Science.gov, Wolfram Alpha, RefSeek, Educational Resources Information Center, Virtual Learning Resources Center, and iSeek. And then ResearchGate, Field Academic Search Engine, Infotopia, PubMed Central, and LexisWeb. So you can also go and search on these engines also. Through the search engines, you will find the home pages of learned society pages and lectures from university courses. You can also find online encyclopedias like the Wikipedia. So what is the criteria for assessing the quality of healthcare information? So we have to evaluate whether a particular node that you see on the net has any relevance, first of all. So this is just an example which I have given. We keep receiving this kind of stuff. This year, December has 5 Saturdays, 5 Sundays, 5 Mondays. This only happens once every 824 years. And this is forwarded even by the learned colleagues. Even if they are postgraduates, they just see it and think that this is something which I should need to share with everybody. If you just look a little bit into it, the month of December this year, you have 5 Saturdays, the same thing. Every damn time a 31-day month ends on a Monday, you get this pattern. So this is not something which happens once in 824 days. This happens maybe once in 824 hours. So this is something else which is immediately taken up. It is like as if this lady, one's daughter, went and got sat behind a cycle, and there is also the show Manoj Bajpayee standing there. So this is a simple photograph where she is sitting and posing, and it is immediately taken up and shown in different ways. So the article you are searching for is not found. Report of this article is not found, or sometimes the agency itself is not found. So if you are looking for free media, then you can get all kinds of rubbish. How do you spot the fake news? Consider the source, read beyond, and evaluate if it is a joke. You check the date, check the author, check also the supporting sources, ask the experts and check your biases. So here I have laid down now a few criteria for assessing the quality of healthcare information, whichever you get either on the net or even on the books. The attributes and affiliations of the authors, the disclosure of funding sources, regular updating of material, statements, or even better, the linked citations leading to supporting evidence. Now, attributes and affiliations of the author now as working. Come on. I am working for a particular company. Let's say I work for an implant company, and I promote a particular implant that is belonging to the same company. So whether you are going to take it for granted or not, because I am paid by the company, I am given a job, and I am affiliated to the company. So whether whatever I am saying, how relevant it is and how correct it might be, or this disclosure of funding sources, I might not be actually working for the company. The company would have funded my research, and that can also cause. Yeah. So that can also cause me to be biased towards a particular a topic or a particular material. Then the regular updating of material, you need to look for articles and textbooks which are more recent, not which is 15 years old or 20 years old. You need to get the most recent article. Supposing you want the history, you want it to date back, then on that you have a bibliography at the end of it. And you can look into the bibliography and look for articles beyond. Supposing you look for an article, let us say on PRP and plasma-rich fibrin or plasma-rich platelet. So you will find that there is been various thought processes going on about the PRF and PRP. If you get an article which is started with an article which is 5 years back, it is heavily promoted. The same thing, you get an article which is more recent, then in implant industry, especially for bone grafting, it is not promoted. So you need to have more updated material rather than an outdated material. Always look for this. Maybe I'm a prosthodontist, maybe articles on complete dentures might not be available off late, in the sense you don't get complete denture has been studied 80s and before, 60s, 70s. So it has not come in much work has been done, has not been done in the 80s also. It has done more after maybe 20s and then up to maybe up to 80s or beginning of 80s. So you might not get complete denture articles. But most of the other articles, there is no point in going back and looking for it. And a little bit of FPD articles also you might not get in the recent part. So your focus should be on getting the latest article and then taking it up from there. Then, if I have published an article and that article is cited by many authors, that can be taken for granted. That means that the article has been accepted. So citation basically means I do some work, some particular work, and then I publish it in a journal. So once that is published in a journal, other people read it and they are impressed with the work that I have done and then quote my article in their publication. That means a citation is happening there. So that means that they are impressed and that is where they are citing. So the more number of citations, the more impact value the article is having. Before last, endorsement by respected individuals or organizations. Now, I want to talk about textbook usage. A textbook can just be written by anybody. You can just we have known authors who have written textbook during their post-graduation also. So somebody is ready to publish it, they just go and write the textbook. So anybody can write a textbook. If they have sufficient money to publish it, they will. Whether the textbook is accepted by the peers means other people like, if I accept it or sir accepts it, or other people are going to accept a textbook, then only it can be taken for further reading. If it is not accepted, then textbooks cannot give you proper information. I can, a textbook is not peer review. When you publish an article in a well-known journal, a peer review is done. A peer review basically means, now if I publish an article, some of my colleagues are going to first review the article and then they are going to decide whether they can accept the article and let it be published. So it is going through an elaborate process. Somebody is going to scrutinize the article. Whereas a textbook need not be scrutinized. A textbook is just put up and it is accepted by the concerned people. Only if it is good. If it is not good, then it will not be accepted. So you need to read a standard textbook. Don't read any book which is available. Finally, common sense coupled with your experience and expertise. So what are the reliable sites? How do we classify this? Those produced by academic centers, including university and hospital sites, government-sponsored sites, professional organization sites, and sites of several medical search engines. So academic centers, most of the universities have their own websites. So this is just a couple of websites which are pulled out of the net, which you can just see this. So in this way, I have just no need for you to write it down, but in this way you can get many articles from well-known universities. And then there is a government-sponsored sites, and the best known site in this category is the National Institute of Health, National Library of Medicine, and this database is particularly Medline via PubMed and NLM Gateway. And the professional organization sites, all of us know about Elsevier and we know about many other similar publications, even the Cochrane also. So all these have their own professional organization sites. So there is a Wiley online library also. So their sites, websites contain articles published from their company. So articles or journals published from their company. And then there are sites of several medical search engines. Directory of Open Access Journal, Open Science Directory, Free Medical Journals, and OpenMD.com, and TRIP database. So these are excellent medical search engines with remarkable search and retrieval capabilities for relevant healthcare information. Now coming to nlm.nih.gov, I'm going to discuss this a little bit more in the further articles. So this is the current page, and the page keeps changing day to day. And this is the premium library, and this is having its center in the US, and it is a US government library. So they have a PubMed when you get into that, and then PubMed is a larger part of the NCBI system. It is a web-based retrieval system developed by the National Center for Biotechnology Information at the National Library of Medicine. So it includes millions of citations from Medline. Now, when you look at a Wiley library or you look at a Science Direct, these are having publications from their own companies, whereas Medline has a pool of all these areas. So Medline is kind of a premier site for you to look for articles. So if an article, if a journal is indexed with Medline, that means that it has reached the pinnacle of its career life. So it is the best, it is the most important thing that our editor can have for his journal. It is like a gold medal. So when you are publishing in the publishers are participating here and electronically submit the citations prior to or at the time of publication. So PubMed provides a link to the site that you want, and you might, however, have to pay a charge to access the full information. The charges can vary from $14 to $3 to even $30 for a particular article, or you can have an annual password for the entire year. So there is a PubMed Central, which is a subsidiary of PubMed, not at the level that PubMed is there. So it is not the gold standard, it is just the next level, the silver standard, wherein many journals are having indexing the PubMed Central. So PubMed Central has open access papers wherein you can access it. In case of the PubMed proper, the Medline, you get only the abstracts. In case of PubMed Central, you get the complete article, which is free of cost. So when you get onto the PubMed site, and this ncbi.llm.nih.gov, you will get into this PubMed area. When you click on this PubMed part, doesn't record there, but sure. My cursor doesn't come there. So when you click on the PubMed, which is here on the upper right of your, upper left of your screen, so when you click on this upper left of your screen, then you get various parts. You get when you scroll down here, you get a PMC, this is your PubMed Central. So you can search on PubMed and you can search on PubMed Central also. Structuring our PubMed comprehensive search using a PICO question. So what is a PICO question? That is a patient population problem, intervention or indication, comparison, and outcome. So this is the PICO principle. So it basically dissects the question into its component parts and structures it in such a way that it's easy to find the answers in an essential first step in evidence-based medicine. So, for example, P, the patient population problem, a young patient, partially insulous, diabetic, and intervention that you want to do, you want to place implants, and what is the comparison, you can also plan on a fixed partial denture, and what the outcome you want, either better mastication or aesthetics or both. So after structuring a specific clinical question, the next step in the evidence-based process is finding the evidence through conducting an online search of the scientific literature. So we have a MESH or a medical subject headings. It is a controlled vocabulary thesaurus or indexing knowledge which allows consistency in the key terms assigned to indexing articles from thousands of articles, the thousands of words leading by biomedical journals. So when you come to this, you have this medical subject headings. So it is a thesaurus again. So understanding the advanced PubMed features, search features. It is, I just posted a picture of the cockpit of the Boeing 380-800. So however complex it looks, it's made by man and you can still go through it and a human being is flying it. It is not some god or any extraterrestrial who is going to do the flying. So you understand whatever that has to be done and then go into it. So there is a Boolean operator, there is a search history, and then there is a limits feature and the clinical queries. So when you go to the PMC advanced search filter, you are building up your search. And a part of this Boolean operator, now a little bit of information about George Boolean, who lived between 1818 and 1854, and you will never would have in his life imagined that people are acknowledging him today also. So he made this AND, OR and NOT, and he is also called in some areas as a father of modern computing. So he made by going by his AND, you can go to the advanced search feature and then put all fields and put AND, and you can search here. I'll come to a little bit more in detail. So you have the AND, OR and NOT feature. So Boolean logic refers to relationship amongst the search terms. Boolean operators limit search results of a search by letting the user combine search terms or concepts. So the three basic Boolean operators are AND, NOT or OR. And when you are searching for them on PubMed Central, then they have to be capitalized. So AND, that is the AND operator in capitals, is used to retrieve search results that contain all of the search items in a citation. So for example, titanium in cast partial dentures and fixed partial dentures. So if you are looking at A as titanium and B as titanium in cast partial dentures and B as titanium in fixed partial dentures, when you combine them. So you're using the A and D operator. That means you're getting titanium which is used commonly both in cast partial dentures and fixed partial dentures, not either cast partial dentures or fixed partial dentures. So when you go to your OR operator, it looks for citation that have at least one of the terms and combines them together in one result. The OR operator used to combine articles on similar topics or broaden your search. So coming to titanium, titanium in cast partial dentures or fixed partial dentures. So when you make a Venn diagram, it is going to be a larger amount of articles which you're going to get, because you get titanium, use of titanium in cast partial denture or fixed partial denture. So you are not eliminating anything out. It is you are combining both of them. The next part is the NOT operator. It excludes some items. So you have to be careful about how you use the NOT operator. So titanium, there is a cast partial dentures and not fixed partial dentures. So when you use a NOT operator, you are eliminating an entire set of search. So you have to be able to word your search here. Sorry for a little break, some software issue. So when you are using the NOT operator, you have to be careful that you are going to remove an entire set of algorithms. So then you have the search history feature, which allows you to view all the search strategies and results that have been run. And it allows you to combine previous search queries using the Boolean operators with new search queries. So for example, I went about a class per each fibrin, and then there is no filter on the next part, and then sort it out with the most recent part. So I get 944 items. So this 944 items, you require more than 3 years to be able to go through 944 articles. So add some filter, I put a filter of 5 years and sort it out with most recent, which comes down to 379. It still is a lot. It takes, even if you are doing one article a day, it takes a lot of time. So you need to further come down. And then I put in plasma rich fibrin in dental implants. So I get about 32 articles, which is more wearable. Now I have already initiated a search. So you can see in the bottom, my search number 1, plasma rich fibrin, and then search number 2, which is again with the filter of 5 years, so the number of articles is less, and then search number 3, in dental implants. So I can make a combination of the search that I have done. So I can remove this A and D, and then I can put OR or NOT and include or jumble up my search in the way that I decide to do it. So this is how the search feature happens. And then there is a limits feature, which is helpful in filtering the citations so they can be sorted out by the level of evidence. The limits feature can be accessed on the PubMed home page or above the search box on top of the advanced search page. The most important feature the clinicians like is a case, which is a feature for the busy professionals and also for the students. And it is found on the home page under PubMed tools. So if you are doing a procedure, let us say you are doing a bone graft or you are doing a free gingival graft. So you can just hit on the clinical queries and hit your topic and you get your desired article, and also you can get videos also. So it provides specialized searches using evidence-based filters to retrieve the articles. And the built-in algorithms streamline the process of searching for clinically relevant articles. So this is just to break the monotony. This is how the previous doctor feels. He feels all trim and proper, and he feels that he or she feels that they have been doing a great job. And then they started post-graduation. And this is how they feel that they have become. So this is not the case. I'll discuss with you again later. So the matter that I told you so far, and we have avoided a protocol for you to go through it. So you define your problem, create a search strategy, choose a bibliographic database, and then search. Select suitable references from those that have been retrieved, assess whether the search is satisfactory, and finally, if it is not satisfactory, redesign the search strategy and or choose other database or search tools. So defining your problem, you use a PICO question, patient or population problem, and the intervention that you want to do, the comparison and the outcome. Then you create a search strategy depending on the algorithms. So this was done by a former postgraduate student of mine. So complete denture processes and type 2 diabetes and residual rich resorption. Or you can put a OR on the bottom also, complete denture prostenotics or removal prostenotics or insulin resistance or poor healing. So you can do some jumbling and look at the search that you want to do. You can create your own strategy. Important thing is to use the proper words. And when you use an NOT operator, it should be used carefully only in situations in which you are completely certain about what you want to exclude. And you have to strike a balance between sensitivity and specificity. So, higher the sensitivity, you will achieve a bigger coverage of the literature with a broader search. But then you end up with a lot of articles, and you have to start looking around and reading for this entire amount of articles. Higher the specificity, your search is very narrow, and you might have missed out on some important articles. So you need to strike a balance between sensitivity and specificity. So for updating, when you create a search strategy, a more specific search would be preferred. For research purpose, you are doing a library dissertation or you are trying to look for thesis topic, you might need several broader searches. Coming next on the protocol, choose the bibliographic database. Now what is a bibliography? It is a list of the books referred to in a scholarly work, usually printed as an appendix. Or it is a list of the books of a specific author or publisher on a specific subject. Or the history or systematic description of books, their authorship, printing, publications, editions, etc. So of course, you will not be yet initialized to this, but you are going to read all these things. This is a bibliography of the references that is given by the author at the end of his article or the end of the chapter in the textbook. So all the references that he has used is laid down as his references which he has used to prepare the article. So this is a citation which I was speaking to earlier. Now somebody quotes these citations that are here. That means the value of the article is increasing. So you can see John Bumer. I don't know how many of you heard of Bumer. Maybe not. He is a well-known maxillofacial prosthetist. So bibliographic databases, you have to choose the right databases or other search tools. And they cover only a certain chosen number of journals, and the selection varies from database to database. So this is why you have to consider which databases are the ones that you would like to search for. Databases might seem alike, but they are not. So you need to be able to tag the right part. And then there are reference handling systems which help you get the databases right. So using these products, authors can save countless hours of typing and interpreting style requirements of scholarly publications by simply selecting the publication by name and generating a perfectly formatted document. So the well-known database sites or searches are the reference manager and then the EndNote. These two are paid, they are not free of cost. The Pro site, which is also a paid site, and there is a Mendeley.com. So Mendeley.com is a free site. where you can get your bibliography as per your requirement. So you can type into mendeley.com. This, I repeat once again, is a free site. So it brings your search to life so that you can make an impact on tomorrow. That is what they claim. Coming next to the protocol, you do the actual search, and your search results are dependent on how you approach your database in the form it is made available to you. So if advantage in searching for one item at a time or one term at a time, you are able to follow if your choice of search term covers are satisfactory. And if you have only 2 hits on one of your search terms, and you know the area is well described, that is, it is a largely well-studied area, then you have to find better words for finding out your search. So it is all dependent upon the kind of search that you are going to do. And when you are carried about the single term searches, you can then go to search history as I described earlier and combine the terms A and D and OR as appropriate, where each term will be represented with a number 1 or number 2 or number 3 depending on that. And you can make a combination of these also. So you have to select suitable references from those that have been retrieved and then try to strike a balance between sensitivity and specificity. You don't want too many articles and you don't want too less articles. You need to get the articles which is desired for your particular study. And the last step is go through the reference list of your chosen references to determine if the other references that you have missed, either because they have not been included in the database search or because your search has not been able to catch them. So reference lists are a good source for covering important older literature. The next part of your search is to assess whether the search was satisfactory. So how do you do that? If it is a well-known topic, then you have to have a lot of literature in that area. Or if the topic is new, then there might not be more abstracts. So this is one of the tips that can be thought of. And if you already know about 1 or 2 important studies, these ought to appear as a part of your retrieved references. If they don't appear, then your search strategy is not good enough. Finally, if you are not happy with your search, then you have to redesign your entire search strategy and choose other databases or search tools. So to summarize, you have to learn to define your questions in a meaningful way, get to grips with the ins and outs of the literature searching, and you need to keep updating yourself in the new information sources. So this might look very difficult for you to understand at the first level, and I'm not able to see faces like Professor Dwarkanath was mentioning. If we are able to see faces, then we can understand what is happening. I am not seeing any faces. I'm just looking at my face and looking at my presentation, and I'm talking. And I'm sure teachers are also seeing. So a word of advice to the teachers: if you can guide your students, the teachers can have more experience in these things, because every year you are doing it, year and year and year. The post-graduate student has 100 other things to do. It might be little difficult for them to understand this part also. Teachers, if they can understand this part, it will be easier for them to guide the students accordingly. So, but the word of thought for the teacher at the beginning of the school year, this is what actually happens to the teacher. It doesn't happen to the student actually. So just think of the teacher who has to guide 2 postgraduate students every year, and by the end of the year, this is going to be his situation. So, 7 reliable search engines for health writing: PubMed, COVID, Web of Science, Science Direct, Scopus, and Cochrane Library. Finally, Google Scholar. So before I end my topic, I always talk about this particular saying from verse from the Bhagavad Gita: Karmanyevadhikaraste ma pareshu kadachana ma karma pada hetu kurmate sankostu akarmani. Which basically means you have control over your actions. You do not have control over the results of your actions. And just because you don't have control over the results of your actions, that doesn't prevent you from acting. So you have to put across your effort, and you have to do well. The results is there. depending on how well your particular activity is. So my best wishes to you all. I hope I could convey whatever that I wanted to convey through this medium, and let us all hope and pray that we will be meeting each other in a more convenient and more comfortable way like what we used to earlier. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindra Saudi, for that informative presentation. We know we get large volume of data, we get variety of data. I know it's extremely difficult to sift through this data, but I think you have made the students' job much easier by taking them through your presentation. I hope they will all benefit from this.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sushma and Dr. Ravindra for a wonderful moderation and presentation. We have not got any questions so far from the students. So I think we would end this session of day 1 today. Requesting all the students to please fill in the feedback forms which are there through your registration link which has been sent to you. If you have logged out, please sign in back again into the same day 1 and give us your feedback. Thank you. Thanks, Manera.